Hello there, how are you doing today? Welcome back to this series of learning about strings in C#. Let's now see how to handle the cases where a string variable may contain either an empty value or a null value. First of all, why should we care about these cases? Let's see an example. Suppose we declared a string variable, name. You know that, if you don't assign any value to the variable of string type, its default value is null. Let's assign an explicit null to the variable name, and then print the value of this variable to the console. You see, it is printing a blank line here, because the variable is not pointing to any text value, and there is no any problem in using the variable. If you would not assign explicit null, you will get compile time error, that you are using an unassigned variable. Now let's keep the explicitly assigned null value, and then try to access this variable. By accessing, we mean calling some methods on this string. Suppose we want to print the length of the value of variable name. We get it by using name.length. As soon as you try to access the variable, which is null, you will get an error at runtime, null reference exception. It says object reference is not set to an instance of an object, which means the reference to the variable name is not set to any instance of string type. Now let's see a case where a string variable is not null, but it contains an empty value. Let's declare the variable, name, and let the user input the value for name. You would want the user to enter some text for name, won't you? What if user just presses enter key? You will get an empty string value for name. And then, you would ask the user again to enter the value. So, you need to perform a check to see if the string value is an empty string. Both these cases, where a string has a null value or an empty value, can be checked with one static method provided in the string class. String dot is null or empty. This method takes the string as input parameter, and it returns a Boolean true value if string is either null or empty. Otherwise, it returns Boolean false value. It is a good idea to always first check your string's value with this method, and access or use the string only if method returns false value. There is another possibility that string's value is just an empty space, or a lot of empty spaces, or just tabbed characters. In this case, the text contained in the string's value is not visible to eyes, and we can consider it as white space. You can use the method isNull or white space to check if the string points to null, or if it contains just blank spaces. In conclusion, you should use either of these methods based on the situation, and avoid null reference exception as well as handle the empty strings or empty space text when dealing with strings. That's it for this video, guys. See you in the next one, where we will see how to check equality of two strings in C#. Subscribe to the .NET Study Room channel if you have not already. Thanks for watching.